Fike, and if you've been following my journey on SwimSwam or through our magazine with my Less is More articles, then you're probably familiar with my journey from obscure University of Texas swimmer to a guy who is now going lifetime bests at almost 40 years old. I turned 40 in just a couple months. I'm not sure if I'm excited about that, but I'm definitely excited about where I'm at with my swimming. If you haven't been following that journey, in a nutshell, I was a guy who swam at the University of Texas, and it was such an amazing experience. But I left feeling like I had way more to prove, way more to go with my swimming. But I really wasn't sure how to get there. And so for 15 years, I just sort of muddled through doing the same old stuff, and was at best plateau, just staying the same, but getting slower, it felt like. About 3 years ago, I said, it's time to put up or shut up. And I just completely flipped everything on its head, what I knew about swimming and how to approach training. And here I am now as a breaststroker. Those are my primary events. I'm over a second faster in my 100, going 54.1, and I hope to go 53 this season by March. And I'm 158 in the 200, which in college I was only 202. So it's really exciting where I'm at, and I definitely feel like I can get faster. And I decided to video all this, one for posterity, so I can look back on it when I'm like 80 years old and think how cool that was. But also to hopefully inspire someone else out there, to give some guidance, some help to somebody else who's stuck, and so that maybe you can get out of that rut and hit your own goals. So I'm going to take you through the nitty gritty of what a day looks like in doing these episodes. As I said, I'm almost 40 years old. I got 3 kids. I just shipped them off to school this morning. My son is 14. He's in 8th grade. My first daughter is 11. She's in 6th grade. And my youngest daughter is 7. She's in 2nd grade. I did breakfast this morning. Typically my breakfast looks something like this, where I've got a banana for some good potassium and carbs, some oatmeal, instant oatmeal, but I tend to add my own rolled oats to it, so it's a little bit more, and then a couple pieces of toast with some butter. And if you're anything like me, I'm not a huge fan. Like, I would prefer not to eat in the morning just because my tummy feels a little bit unsettled, and I think a lot of swimmers are that way. But I've gotten used to forcing myself, because as I get into a workout, if I haven't eaten enough, like if I haven't added the extra oats, or I've only had 1 piece of toast instead of 2, my stomach will start growling, and I just don't like that feeling. So I try to force myself through it in the morning, and that tends, I feel like that really helps me get through my workouts. We're gonna get going here in just a minute to the gym. Well, to the pool first and then the gym. This is the last week of a lifting cycle for me, which means I'm working on max lifting. I start with a set of 5, then a set of 4, set of 3, 2, 1, and of course on that 1, trying to move as much as I can. And it's primarily complex movements that involve more than one joint. So we're talking bench press today, deadlift, pull-ups, and bent over rows. I get rid of a lot of the other stuff that is more simple movements, like bicep curls or leg extensions, stuff like that. Once this lifting cycle ends, I'll have an easy lifting week next week, and then I'll start the lifting cycle all over again, but we'll get into that. We're gonna first start at the pool with some easy swimming to kind of activate my muscles and get them ready to lift, and then we'll hit the gym. So here we go. Follow me. Okay, we are on our way to the downtown Y. It was one of maybe the only place to reopen shortly after the pandemic hit. And so I've been very grateful to them being able to keep my training going. prior to the Y, I was trained out of TCU, and that's yards, really nice pool, very much within my comfort zone. I do not like meters, and this pool that we're going to, it's short course meters. And so at first it took some getting used to. I really didn't like it. My times were way off. I was kind of getting frustrated, but it turned out to be such a huge gift. The biggest weakness I have, or maybe used to have, I don't know, was the second half of my races kind of falling apart and dying. But having these extra few feet each way, I think has been hugely beneficial to helping me finish those races much stronger. Almost all of my training is by myself. Everything in the weight room is by myself. Almost everything in the pool is by myself. Sometimes I luck out and I have a master's couple who are pretty serious, and they'll do the sets with me. They'll do freestyle to my breaststroke, which is so great having competition. I wish I could have competition and a team to train with every day. I definitely prefer that, but as you know, my training is kind of unique and kind of specific to me, so it doesn't exactly fit with the whole team thing. But we're almost there, and we'll get going soon. All right, so here we go. Activation. It's a mix of dynamic stretching, yoga moves, some breathing that really helps me get off to a good start. Even though I'm not doing much in the water today, I want it to be good from the moment I get in. I don't want to spend 200-300 meters trying to feel good when I've only got about 600 to go today. So it takes about 8 minutes. It's something I do every single day, day in and day out, pretty much the same stuff. But if you get past the monotony, it's a great way to get started. So 8 minutes, don't worry. We're gonna hit fast forward on a lot of this. Just enjoy the ride. About 8 minutes. If you saw the last thing there, the leg swings, it kind of makes me feel like I'm in cabaret. But really good for the T-band, kind of dynamic stretching for that area. Most of what I did was dynamic stretching, but you notice some of it was kind of static, where I was holding positions. And normally during activation, that's about 5 to 10 seconds, just as a way to like wake my muscles up, but they're not ready to be really stretched out the way they are at the end of a workout. At the end of a workout, the stretching is more like 20 seconds to tell my muscles like it's okay,
go to sleep, you know, relax, we're done. So now it's time to get in the pool. I was doing kind of a weird breaststroke drill where I wasn't really coming up very high, but I was kind of slamming my face in the water. And that is just to get me focused on getting the top of my head forward in my stroke so that everything is going forward, because I've noticed in the past that I have a tendency to get up really well, but then I just sort of sink instead of lunging forward. And so the fins now are going to be a continuation of that, just working on really getting forward. Sure, I like too much of that, the way it felt, but you know, good days and bad days. Okay, so about 600. Not all fun and games. There's a little bit of work in there, but you know, just even the easy stuff, I try to put in something that's applicable to my breaststroke work. And with the fins, it's a great way to work on technique, but also kind of explosiveness. So that's it for the swim today. It's kind of funny because if I had done a 600 in college, I would have been, even as part of a taper, I would have been met with a chorus of "must be nice, must be nice." Just funny how things have changed. So I am heading to the weight room now. We're gonna cut it off here. I'm gonna show you the rest of today's workout in the next episode next week, including the lifts and the stretching, foam rolling stuff I do at night. So stay tuned.